For more now, let's bring in former Congressman John Katko. Congressman, thanks so much for coming back on. Let's continue down this road of the indictments. You prosecuted Rico cases for more than 20 years and then ran for public office. The Rico case, as it's laid out, do you think it's tailored to make a political statement as well as a legal one?
I don't know if it's made for a political statement. I can only tell you from a legal standpoint, it's got a very traditional trajectory. It's got count one, which alleges Rico conspiracy, then 40 counts that follow it that all could be individual trials, but are rolled into this trial. So really, it's a very simple case in one respect. It's not complicated. And it really boils down to one question, and that is, did former President Trump and the others conspire to unlawfully change the outcome of the election? That's it. We know that they tried to change the outcome of the election. The only question really is, was it unlawful? And these acts are designed to argue that it is unlawful. So in my mind, it is logically laid out. It's the way I would lay out an indictment of that sort. And when I did Rico cases, you took the least culpable and the most culpable and you put them all together in one case. If in fact they were an organization or an enterprise of sorts, and there was a pattern of activity that seemed to be reflect the Rico laws, and then you try it, and that's what happens. And I think that's what this indictment reflects.
The DA, Fani Willis, made some damning comments last night as she announced the charges. For those who say, look, this is politically motivated, you know the rule of the law here, and so I'm just curious how legitimate you think that these alleged crimes are based on your reading of the indictment.
Well, by my reading of the indictment, they've certainly alleged crimes that were sufficient to establish probable cause to bring them. It remains to be seen whether you can prove all of these beyond a reasonable doubt. But a lot of these are not difficult to understand why they were brought. And really, like I said, it's a fair question whether or not all this conduct was unlawful. Individually, perhaps not. Collectively, a decent likelihood that it was. And that's really a question for the jury.
This is, of course, now the fourth indictment against the former president. Since the first indictment in New York back in March, Donald Trump's popularity within Republican voters remained steady. What does that say about the mindset of the GOP primary voter?
Well, I think that his base is rock solid, and they're never going to leave him no matter what he says. But anytime anyone disagrees with this president, he says it's fake news. Anytime someone says he committed any sort of crime or did something that's illegal, he says he's being persecuted, and people are buying it. And to some extent, I understand the sentiment because he's masterful at controlling the media. But when you get into a courtroom and you select 12 people for the jury box, and those 12 people swear to uphold the law, and most of them will know little or nothing about the case, hopefully, you don't know what's going to happen. And I don't think they could care too much about anything other than the evidence. And in the end, they generally get it right. Juries always surprise me with how good and fair they are. And we'll see what happens with this case. But if he's taking this lightly or anyone's taking this lightly, that's a huge mistake, because this is a very serious crime with very serious implications.
Former Congressman John Katko, thanks so much for your time.
Sure thing.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.